Entire elementary school classrooms in parts of the Bay Area are now in lockdown, all due to exposure to COVID-19.
Yeah, with more parents no longer working from home, juggling the demands of a 10-day lockdown with a full-time job is going to be difficult for many. KTVU's Emma Goss is at a coronavirus testing site in San Mateo where parents are bringing their kids today. Emma?
Frank, it's a long line of cars here, and many have children in them. Parents from Foster City Elementary have been coming here to get their kids tested after the school notified them that their kid was potentially exposed to a COVID-positive person. A caravan of cars carrying young kids rolled through this COVID testing site Monday at the San Mateo Marriott.
A 7-year-old second grader at Foster City Elementary, and they just recently had several outbreaks in the school, but in particular, one outbreak in her classroom.
No quarantining for his daughter's classroom, but the school's 5th graders are all under lockdown due to 3 students who tested positive for COVID-19. Last week, a 4th grade classroom at Montclair Elementary in Oakland went into a mandatory 10-day quarantine after just 1 day of school. For full-time working parents, many who are back in the office, that quarantine period would be tough to juggle.
It's hugely challenging, but honestly, we have to balance that with the risk of how hard would it be to actually, unfortunately have a child who's ill.
This mother of 2 says she can apply for COVID paid time off to take her kids to get tested like she did on Monday, and if need be, to use if they needed to quarantine.
But still very stressful because I have a full-time job to struggle. I have to talk to my supervisor and allocate my caseload, my works with them, so it is very stressful, exhausted as a working mom.
Stephanie Chenard, her husband and 3rd grade son in Alameda went into 10 days of lockdown a few weeks ago, just before school started, because 8-year-old Desmond tested positive for COVID-19.
It was a scramble. It impacts a lot of things, jobs specifically, jobs importantly.
She took a few days off from her job as a university administrator, and her husband, who works in catering and events, did too. But those days off are finite. Now they're budgeting them should Desmond's classroom need to quarantine.
The ripple effect was, even for someone who I feel like we've been pretty cautious, the ripple effect was overwhelming.
Many parents don't have the flexibility of taking paid time off for their kids to get tested or quarantine, and they're now navigating how to make time to either get tested that's required by schools or after school programs. Frank?
All right, Emma Goss live for us tonight. Emma, thank you.